What happens if the US-Iran war continues for another 6 months? The biggest problem may not be bombs, missiles, or even the Strait of Hormuz. It could be something much simpler. The world running out of its emergency oil cushion. The war has already caused one of the biggest disruptions to global oil supplies in modern history. According to Saudi Aramco's estimates cited by Reuters, the world has lost around 2.6 billion barrels of oil supply since the conflict began. That is equivalent to roughly 25 days of global consumption. And while global oil demand has fallen, the supply gap is still estimated at around 5 million barrels per day. So the question is, how long can the world keep filling that gap with oil sitting in storage? The International Energy Agency, or IEA, says there are roughly 1.5 billion barrels in combined government and commercial stocks. On paper, that sounds enormous. At a 5 million barrel a day deficit, that could theoretically cover about 300 days. But there is a catch. The IEA cannot simply order private companies to release their commercial inventories. That means the oil governments can actually control is closer to 900 million barrels, enough for only around 180 days, or roughly 6 months. And that is assuming the current supply deficit does not get worse. The United States is particularly vulnerable. Its strategic petroleum reserve has fallen to its lowest level since 1983 during Ronald Reagan's presidency. Worse, the U.S. Government Accountability Office has warned that infrastructure problems mean around a quarter of the reserve is currently unavailable. That leaves roughly 200 million barrels that can actually be accessed, according to analysts. At a 5 million barrel a day global shortfall, that is enough for just 40 days of supply gap coverage. And this isn't just about crude. Global inventories of diesel and jet fuel are also near the bottom of their 5-year range. Damage to refineries in the Middle East and Russia has particularly squeezed these fuels. But there is one major exception. China. China does not publicly disclose the full size of its strategic reserves, but Energy Aspects estimates that the country held nearly 1.7 billion barrels of crude in July. If that estimate is correct, China could potentially cover its pre-war oil imports through the Strait of Hormuz for almost a year. So while some countries are approaching the limits of their emergency buffers, China appears to have a much larger cushion.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.